Yes! Praise the sun! Now this is what I'm looking for in a chapter. Great character moments, great panels, crazy feats of power, and most importantly, Escanor being a badass. The start of this chapter, and really a majority of it, was Diana using her move Mother Creation. Now this is one badass move, and it did not disappoint. She literally destroyed the ground around the entire lake and then started flinging it at the Demon King, trying to knock him away from the lake so he could no longer absorb its magic power. I don't know if this was mentioned or not before, but Diana has just declared herself Queen of the Giants. So now the Sins have the King of the Fairies and the Queen of the Giants. Diana starts to talk about her dream with King and starts struggling. But then Bond chastises King for making her say everything. So King mans up and proposes to her, which gives her a huge blush boost as she says yes to his proposal and finishes her technique. All of a sudden, the Demon King's in unfamiliar territory and the Sins are there to confront him. It then zooms out and we see that they're on a massive structure that is towering over the mountains below it, creating a giant platform. This is so the Demon King can no longer replenish his magic from the lake, and the 7 deadly sins can finally work together to finish him off for good. But that's not all. Just to add icing to the cake, Lord Escanor steps in and tells us there is one more piece of bad news for the Demon King. That's right, it's high noon. This was probably one of the best endings to a chapter I've ever seen. There's nothing quite like Escanor just holding his finger up in the air and you knowing he's about to shove it in someone. Wait, that came out wrong. But anyways, it looks like the next chapter is going to have the one Escanor versus the Demon King. The other sins might help too, I guess. But I'm mainly looking forward to see Escanor fight and finally seeing him go all out in the one mode. I hope it's mostly just him, with the other sins just assisting him a bit, because he only gets to stay in this form for 1 minute. So I want him to get the limelight during that time. Next chapter can be Escanor's, and then maybe after that one, when the one mode is done and over with, Meliodas will go into his Demon King mode. I could see that being the cliffhanger of the next chapter, like how this chapter was mostly about Diana, but then Escanor was the cliffhanger. There are a bunch of panels with great art that I really like this chapter. The panel with Diana ripping up the ground around the lake looked really cool. The panel with the sins all together looked picture perfect. And the one with the Demon King by himself facing them looked really badass. But of course, the panel that stands above all others is the one with Escanor declaring it's high noon. My wish is for the rest of these chapters to stay on the same epicness level as this one. If Nakaba can do that, then this will be one epic finale. I find it hard to believe that the next chapter won't be just as epic, and it would be extremely difficult to mess up a chapter about the one Escanor versus the Demon King, so I have really high expectations for the next chapter. I think it's about time I wrap things up, but before I do, I have one more piece of news for you. It's high time you subscribe to me.